Hello everyone, how are you doing? Today I decided to play a game called Sylbyte on Roblox. I regret it with my entire being. So, Sylbyte is a bullet hell game which, as insinuated by the genre, is where there are a bunch of bullets. So anyways, before I get any further into the video, I do have a fair warning. I suffered a lot more on the second part more than the first in the video because me playing the game wasn't limited to the recording. So, to start us off in the story, we, the player, wake up after experiencing amnesia and falling from the sky, where we are introduced to the first protagonist alongside ourselves, Naomi Lumian, who explains to us the different layers of the world and the different races, with her being an Extromian, who are known for their intellect. On the current layer we are on, it is mainly dominated by Onis. She gives us a brief tutorial and offers to take us to a friend of hers that may be able to help with our memory. Being the mentally unstable person I am, I decided to play the game on the hardest difficulty, which is 2.5 times harder than playing it regularly. And the best way for me to focus was to turn off the game music completely and listen to Millie, the best music artist. Kendrick has nothing on her. Now, for her first phase, it is quite simple. All you do is go in between the gaps of the waves of bullets that are closest to you. Her second phase is like that one Sans move from Undertale where you have to do a counterclockwise movement to avoid the different pillars, with the bullets from previous stage occasionally popping up to change your cycle. Again, not too difficult. The main part I struggled on was the one where it was like a Pacheco machine with the little pegs. This stage was the hardest for me to deal with because I tried to do it in small bursts, but it punishes you for doing that as a lightning strike happens in a circular radius around your current location. With this knowledge, I just moved continuously and went with the flow of things. After our training session, she decides to be an inconsiderate person and barges into the local library, making a ruckus. She does the same thing twice to open the door to her friends Syl and Oni, who doesn't seem too fond of her. After some persuasion and bribery, Syl tells us that Orin and Umbral might hold the knowledge to help with our amnesia. Of course, after we learn this, we are thrust into more training, and this is where the real problem starts. Again, lacking any awareness of how much pain I would be in, I picked the hardest difficulty, not knowing it would consume over 2 hours of my life, not recorded and recorded respectfully. This time, I decided to play Hero from the Go, Millie, because of course I had to. Now, I will give a little deep dive into how I perceived each phase as I described them. Now, onto the first layer of hell. Syl throws spikes that start thick then slim as they get thrown at a slight curve. In the top right and bottom left, pellets are shot out. The pellets are being shot out from the sides, traveled slightly faster than the ones she shot out, making it a pretty simple phase. I viewed the attack as a single, very basic attack. The second layer of hell. From the top right and bottom left respectively, she throws out constant waves of miniature pellets that travel way faster. The main reason I struggled on this was because they didn't feel like synchronized attacks, even though they were. Because the rate and the speed they were fired at, it created a sense of overlapping between the two attacks that made it hard for me to concentrate. Fortunately, I found the best way to do it was to repeatedly run in a circle. Repeatedly, near the center. I view this as a singular overlapping attack. Now, for the third layer, this is the main reason for my suffering. I couldn't get a hold of it, and still now, I don't think I can even come close to performing it consistently. We are locked to a miniature rectangle in the bottom of the screen, first off. Secondly, she fires off circles that travel at a pretty quick pace at different amounts of intervals, meaning she can fire off like 6 at once, then 10 on the next. The same thing can also be applied to the spikes she shoots from the bottom left, which were a bit slower. This made me deal with two completely different attacks that operated at different wavelengths. The third part created so many problems. My arm started to hurt and I needed to take a break because I forgot what it was like moving my thumb, and my forearm was just in agony. It isn't helpful either because I began losing focus frequently too. The main way I try to focus is by completely emptying my mind of everything, which is why I choose to listen to songs with a semi-steady tempo and a good amount of words so I wouldn't distract myself. It got to a point where my head was seemingly forcing thoughts to come out of nothing and completely ruin my rhythm, where I got to attempts where she had like 25 HP and I lost. The worst one was when I got her to 8 HP. Oh my god. 8 HP. 8 HP. Stack close, close. Oh my god.
Like, I genuinely need a break from this now. Like, my arm is like hurting and stuff.
So I decided to switch off Hero and go back to the previous song, but different. The Forsaken version of it. Then I got the God run. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, I did it! I did it! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, yes! Yes! Oh my god, I did it! I did it! Oh my god, my arm! Oh my god. Yo. Like, I'm not even joking to you, bro. Oh my god. That was actually intense. Oh my god, I did it. I did it. Yo, free at last, bro. Oh my god, bro. And all that took was 2 hours of my life. Oh my god. Oh my god. As you can hear from my voice, I was absolutely stoked to have finished that torture. Overall, this is one of my favorite games to play. It offers a fun way for me to suffer, which doesn't come very lightly. It has a very nice and unique art style that I personally like, though it would be a bit nicer if the icon and the actual character when talking in the cutscenes looked more similar. I just think that Syl looks a bit too angular given the amount of times I had to see her face. I will make another video about the next two parts of the first chapter, and yes, I will be playing it on the hardest difficulty. But for now, into the mental asylum I go. Editor's note: the ability that I had provided invincibility frames. If only I knew, my suffering would be significantly reduced. I'm still not going to use it next time I play. By the way, I'm just letting you know I'm only going to use it for speed if necessary, like I did on the second phase for Naomi.